Getting your professional qualification is a long and arduous journey. Whether you're a student studying full-time or a professional balancing work and studies, it's easy to feel like Sisyphus carrying this big heavy boulder up the hill that only gets steeper and steeper. You spend hours and hours studying, honing your knowledge, only to barely scrape a pass or even end up failing, either because you are unlucky or because you just weren't prepared enough. I get it, it's hard, and I'm proud of you for keeping on. However, today I'd like to share the unorthodox techniques and philosophies I implemented that helped me not only pass all my exams, well, most of them, in my first attempt, but also allow me to score extremely well and be the highest in my country. So, let's get to it. Step 1. Understanding how your brain works. First and foremost, I had to understand how my brain worked. How do I learn and absorb information? By reading, by watching videos, by listening to lectures, by doing coursework perhaps? Look, this is vital for your next step, which I'll get into in a bit. You can sort of figure this out by taking tests, but I prefer reflecting on past experiences where I had to learn new skills and vast amounts of information in a short period of time. I would often ask myself, when I excelled in learning something quickly, how did I do it? What environmental factors allowed me to learn it quickly, and how can I simulate those factors? Do note, you don't just have to pick one. You could always use a combination of them to cement your understanding. But remember, time is of the essence. And since time is of the essence, allow me to segue to my next point. Step 2. Skim the entire syllabus. What? Yes, skim the entire syllabus. Get your textbook or search up Open Tuition or any of these websites that I will display on the screen. Count the number of chapters you have to go through and create a time frame, preferably a short one, for how long it should take you to get an idea of the entire syllabus. This time frame will depend purely on when you're having your next sitting, but I prefer to keep it a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks and a maximum of about 2 months. I used to skim through the syllabus as a way of familiarizing myself with the course I was taking. You know, set the pace and know what I'm getting into. You see, I knew how my brain worked. If I were to dive deep into a syllabus, I would either get too strung up on a certain topic, spending too much time understanding the theoretical aspect of it, or by the time I'm done with the syllabus, I would have forgotten some of the stuff I'd learned earlier. And remember, time is not on our side. I needed to get an idea of the entire syllabus so I can move on to one of, if not the most important step. Step 3. Practice, practice, practice. Now, this stage will humble you. This is the stage where you open your revision kit and start practicing questions. Don't worry about being ready. Just practice. The more time you have to practice, the more time you have to hone your skills. Trust me, you'll struggle on this one. But there'll be 3 outcomes that I think are important when preparing for and writing the exams. Number 1, it'll strengthen your nerves. You'll become more comfortable with tackling the unknown. When faced with a question you don't know how to answer, you won't turn into a nervous wreck. Number 2, you'll be able to gauge the topics that you know and don't know, or more accurately, you'll be able to scale them based on familiarity versus unfamiliarity. And number 3, you'll be able to learn from your mistakes and identify gaps in your knowledge, which brings me to the 4th step. Step 4, review, review, review. Arguably almost as important as practice, review. This and the previous steps are kind of a loop. You've practiced the question and now you have to review the solution deeply. Think about these things. 1. How is my answer structured? 2. What is the breakdown of marks like? 3. How can I make my answers as easy to understand and as structured as this solution? Review the solution deeply. Identify gaps in your knowledge and which syllabus area the question related to. Then go back and understand it in depth. Yes, this is where your true studying comes in. So as a result, this time your mind isn't looking at reading a splurge of text or an array of slides. This time, you are learning and studying with focus and intent. You have a specific reason you've come to your textbook. You want revenge. And there you go. Free motivation right there, served on a silver platter. Bon appetit. I wish I had a plate actually. Let me get a plate. Every night Bon appetit. Where can I put this plate? There we go. But wait, what are you doing? No. Don't practice the same question again. You literally just looked at the solution. You practice it again next week. For now, look for a question that stems from the same syllabus area and attempt, then review it, then attempt another, and do it again and again and again and again. Step 5. The end game. Alright, it's 2 to 4 weeks until the final exam. You've done so many questions, but now comes the hardest part. The part that will probably shatter all the confidence you built. Past papers. Under timed conditions. Your goal when writing these should be to stay within time, with at least 15 minutes left to review your work. You have to try your hardest to emulate the exam environment. What you want is to ensure that your final exam doesn't feel like a final exam, but rather a practice exam that you've done several times before. This is non-negotiable. You have to practice past papers, but don't forget, reviewing, once again, is important. This cannot be stressed upon enough. Review the past papers, do the mocks, review the examiner's report, etc. Understand where students fall short so you don't fall into the same traps. Understand where students score the most marks so you can capitalize on all of them. Get as many tips as you can from expert tutors on exam technique and read up on any examiner's articles and work on any loose ends. And that's it. That's my unorthodox study technique that helped me prepare for my exams, and hopefully it might help you too. But then again, remember, everyone is different and are placed in different situations. The most important thing is to understand what works for you. And personally, I hope that the techniques I've shared will give someone out there a little insight as to what works for them, and hopefully can help them better strategize and prepare and, fingers crossed, pass their next sitting. I don't know how to do an outro, so I'm gonna just say bye-bye. So introverted, oh my god.